Welcome back to The Price of Business. Always glad to be with you. Always glad to be talking to you about you and your business. We're going to talk about something that is going to be both educational from a health perspective, but also, this is a business show. In fact, it's one of the longest running business shows in the country. We've been around since 2001. And so I always like to talk about the business side of everything that we look at, even as we talk about lifestyle stories, which is a big part of our emphasis here on the program. Dr. Michael Floorman, he is a dentist out of the Los Angeles area, but he's also an entrepreneur, and we're going to talk about his entrepreneurial activity. He's an orthodontist, an entrepreneur. He is a top 1% Invisalign provider. That's that cool technology that's braces that works really well, outstanding. I've heard great stories about it, but they're more discreet. No one wants to walk around with metal in their mouth, and it's more discreet in that process. Was involved as the founder and launch of EverSmile, which we're going to focus on today, and their website is eversmilewhite.com, and it's a leading innovator in the oral care and orthodontic consumer packaged good market. And Dr. Floorman, just welcome to the program. A little bit about yourself and a little bit about EverSmile White, EverSmile rather. Go ahead.
Sure. So I became a orthodontist in 2003, and as a sort of an inventor, I found some needs in the orthodontic market for some products that didn't exist, and moved forward as an entrepreneur to bring these few products to market. And it's sort of the American dream of starting something from nothing and building it and growing a company. We have a company now called EverSmile, which is a product company that makes cleaners for Invisalign aligners. It also makes a cleaning product for braces, because it's the number one problem with kids, that they don't brush their teeth. And we've been sort of successful at launching the products, getting them into distribution. We're in CVS now with both products. And we have a sort of slate of maybe 5 more different innovations for dentistry that we're working on as we speak. So,
very cool. I love it. So when did you launch?
We started the product about 3 years ago, and it takes time. Like any business, you got to go out there and hustle. And the company has slowly been growing, and we hit a tipping point at the end of last year, where one of the largest dental companies in the world took on the product under a private label, and CVS came in and wanted 2 of the SKUs and put them on the shelves in 4,300 stores. So we've been, working hard, and we still are working hard to get more distribution. We're on Amazon. We sell, we're one of the top products on Amazon for the orthodontic market, and we're growing, and it just takes time, as you know.
Yeah, no question about it. It takes a lot of time. This stuff is not easy. People talk about get rich quick, and overnight success stories are usually built on years, if not decades. And so we don't see that stuff before then, and so it's really transformative. Now, there's always a concern. People always talk about never, failing to launch, but almost equally problematic is going too quickly. And when I hear a company that's only 3 years old and is now in 4,600 stores and working on new stores, that is both exciting and a little alarming. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's funny that you mention that, because all of our advisors have told us the same thing. And luckily, I guess God has slowed down our ability to get into other retailers because of the timing. They make decisions in retail like once a year for the next year. So luckily we launched when they had pretty much booked up all of 2018 for all the other retailers, so we couldn't do anything with them. And somehow, through luck, we got into CVS, and that's all we're in now. But it was a bit, like you said, it's a challenge to grow too quickly. So we're very happy, another retailer didn't pick us up, because it would have been maybe the death blow, as you say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really. Yeah, I mean, running a business, it's hard. You're managing cash flow, you're managing receivables. And as soon as you get into bigger numbers, you have bigger receivables, bigger needs for cash. And I could see how a lot of companies just, vaporize. But we're definitely controlling it all and making it work. So we're one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's vaporize or spontaneously combust, but it's something like that. Dr. Michael Floorman is our guest. Yeah, his website, eversmilewhite.com. That's eversmilewhite.com, talking about his company, EverSmile. So talk about what were the players before you came to market and how you guys are game changers.
Yeah, so prior to Invisalign coming out, which is the big brand of clear aligners, the plastic trays that move teeth, there were no cleaning products for on the go to clean them. So as an orthodontist, I kept having patients come in and tell my assistants, how do I clean my aligners on the go? And there really was no product. So all the products that were on the market for cleaning Invisalign aligners were just the old denture soak products that people would soak their dentures in or their retainers at night, and they would go home, they'd put a bath, a little dish, they'd throw some crystals in and soak their appliance. So, but the problem wasn't when people got home to clean their appliances. The problem was, what do I do at work when I take them out and have a coffee and put them back in? What do I do at lunch? I take them out to eat and then put them back in. I'm on the go. So there was nothing, and that's sort of where the innovation came out, that we came out with a solution where there was nothing before. And that is something we got patented. And, you talk about a Me Too product. We're so not a Me Too product. It's given us the ability to grow with nobody competing with us. So it's sort of, patent protected, and that's sort of been giving us the ability to not have to grow too quickly, where we're able to know that we have protection from an intellectual property standpoint. So that's sort of the story there.
That's fantastic, and that's absolutely the story of almost all great success stories is solving a problem. Whenever you look at it, if you go down any store aisle, you're looking at problem solving. To my left, it's that toothpaste versus that toothpaste, and here's just one more example. And frankly, you pretty much captured why you got this and not Invisalign. Because Invisalign doesn't have that tactical relationship with customers that you had. And, that was a game changer, wasn't it?
Right. And the other thing is that Invisalign never would want to talk about a negative in their marketing with a product. So if they're putting a cleaning product out with their product in the beginning, people would think, oh, these things get dirty. So they sort of wanted to avoid that entire situation where, as a practitioner dealing with it day to day, we had to deal with it because the patients were desperate for a solution. So it just took time where now the industry is embracing it because it is such a big problem. And all the companies that make these products, they want the best experience for the patient. So in the end, you can't hide from the fact that it smells. It's sort of like putting gasoline in your car. We all know if you get it on your hand, it stinks, but you still got to do it. So, we've been blessed in terms of timing and coming up with the idea to fix the problem.
I think, I think you kind of nailed it. People, they want you to be in the rush of a panacea. Oh, look, it's a panacea. Finally solving my braces problem. I don't have to look like a 13-year-old for the rest of my life.
Right.
Or for however long it takes to do it. But, you would almost think that Invisalign would have been bright enough if they really realized how big the problem was to even create a sub-corporation with a different entity to address that problem. I really think they didn't think it was that big of a deal, or they would have done that. Because, look what you're doing. Look at how you're tapping into it. Doctor, I've got 30 seconds left before I have to wrap it up. Final thought, real quickly, from you.
Final thought is never give up. Be smart. And if you got a good idea, try to bring it to market, because there's no better feeling when that product hits the shelves and people start buying it, reordering it. So good luck to everybody.
Dr. Michael Floorman, DDS, great guest, man, so cool. Got to learn about a new product that I think people out there are going to be keeping an eye out for. You can find it at CVS if you're dealing with Invisalign, and also a great entrepreneurial story. The American dream is alive and well with people like Dr. Florman who simply exploit opportunity when it comes towards them. That's just the story of entrepreneurship, and it's the story of problem solving. Every idea that we have out there marketplace has its roots in a problem, and the guy who figures out how to make it better makes the money, or the gal. This is not sexist. So thanks again for your time. Loved it. It was very interesting. When we come back, we're going to have more for you. But I do want to remind you, we'll be back right after the break, but at the end of the show continues 24/7 at priceofbusiness.com. And what does that mean? We're constantly adding new audio, new video, new articles, you name it, new content that are keeping you better informed about business and life and really on how to make things better for you. That's kind of our values and objectives as well. The Price of Business is nationally syndicated on the BizTalk Radio Network. Again, go to priceofbusiness.com to find a station near you. We'll be back right after this.